held the Buckeyes into the national consciousness like, wow, wait a minute, you can go to South Bend and you can beat the two-time defending champs. You guys must be for real.
And they've been able to do it with defense. The 6th best defense in the country statistically with Faceoff.
Will Lynch, Jack Oldman will face off to begin this one. And Will Lynch will pick up the GB first possession to Notre Dame. It's an Irish team you think about too. We mentioned those 4 losses in the open, Kark. They've done a great job this year bouncing back after tough losses. It seems like Angrick's 13 of the year. Lynch wins it cleanly to himself. Gets it to McLean. Now whistles behind the play. Want to make sure the shot clock is timed up right. Don't move it to 75. It took him to finally break through after so many close calls to win that first national championship 2 years ago. They repeated last year, looking for a three-peat here in 2025. They got to get it started, though, on the road here in Columbus.
Coach Kevin Corrigan, an absolute trailblazer, what he's done with this program at Notre Dame. They weren't angle, right? That low angle. That is a gorgeous rip by the sophomore.
On this Ohio State roster, you'll find Texas, Idaho, Florida, California, of course, Canada and Ohio as well. They go far and wide, Kark. They're not just recruiting Baltimore and Long Island and upstate New York. They got kids from all.
Ohio State's had their number. The last 6 times they've played, they've won 4 of them.
Including earlier this year in South Bend on March 8th. And they've got the lead here starting this second quarter. Jack Oldman wins the draw. Ari Allen from Atlanta, Georgia. There's another one. Not a traditional lacrosse hotbed, but it's becoming one.
Terrific football player in high school, too. Played at IOPT. Man-down defenses, even when they aren't the goal scorers. Everyone's so worried about that guy. He just hammers the ball well over 100 miles an hour, Alex Marinier.
Loose ball hold goes against Ohio State.
So this is interesting, Chris. Different in the trust between Kavanaugh and Richard Deli, who were also high school teammates at Taft. Kavanaugh is going to pass that ball to Richard Deli way quicker than most because of the confidence in how much experience they have with one another.
That time, Sean Maghoto on the draw, guilty of the violation. Kavanaugh.
13 in blue, that wide open.
From Denver, Colorado, grew up playing outdoor and indoor lacrosse. Lynch picks up the GB, gets it back to Richard Deli.
This is interesting what they're doing right now with Notre Dame. Taylor's going through and supports a team and a family in need, and they call it the medicine game, and the sport of lacrosse will rally behind everyone that's been impacted by this tragic passing. We'll always remember Dylan.
No question about it. Well said. And thinking about him today and his family.
Up around 80 degrees.
And Will Lynch has won 4 faceoffs in a row as well.
Yeah, he's creating that run and that just big disadvantage in time of possession.
Procedure call going to go against Lynch.
And anytime you're in a spot like this, give it to your quarterback. That's 2 and white, Garrett Haas. Let him run your offense. Let the ball go through X every single possession. Lack of substitution by Notre Dame. And credit Ryder Garnsey, who runs the box.
Hagstrom had to take this draw for the Irish. And Oldman is guilty of the violation. Field
earlier as a short stick defensive midfielder.
Lynch back taking the face off. He's really starting to assert his dominance at that spot today. Another possession. Ohio State has only won 3 draws on the afternoon.
Connor, we have just a little bit over 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Ohio State, you feel like, has never had the ball in this quarter.
It has been really tilted.
Torque It's one of the most beautiful shots you'll see in college lacrosse.
McLean lets it fly as the buzzer sounds. A little bit of that momentum away from the Irish. Now, can Jack Oldman do what he did back on March 8th in South Bend, get the better of number 22, Will Lynch in blue, and he hasn't been able to do it, and so far, he isn't able to do it here in the second half. Loose ball hold, possession of the Irish.
This is big for Will.
Buckeyes will take it. That's 2 straight for the senior from Burlington, Ontario. Lynch again wins it straight forward to himself.
You got this home crowd. And your body's squared. You don't do that out of a roll with that kind of pressure. The goal that he had in the national semifinals against Virginia was one of the sickest goals I've ever seen. On the twister. That was from range. That one was in tight. He just does the unthinkable.
Speaking of in tight, that is not for the
little goose, right? Flicking the ball upfield, and it happens to be an Angrick stick.
And a heck of a play by Angrick just to pick up that GB. Faceoff. Oh, he took that one right against the chest plate, it looked. That did not feel good.
He's hurting.
Yes. Well, they continue their run here this year. Speaking of runs, Lynch is having a heck of a run. He shoots, Faceoff stops him. He is owning the face-off dot right now.
Ryan Hoff knew it was going to be a problem with Jake Taylor after his first start. An unbelievable second and third quarter by Jake Taylor. And he had his attention on high alert right after Kevin Corrigan pulled him against Syracuse.
Yes, good point.
In that loss in the ACC semifinals. He was not happy with him. And you just know that he was playing with like a different sense of urgency in this game. Up a little bit, put a pole there. You know, they have a pole on the wing. Will Lynch is winning this to himself every time. If you put a pole right there and you disrupt him, you give yourself a 50-50 chance. You're not winning it straight up.
Colin Brown is just relentless, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. So he's a long stick midfielder. He plays in tight. No dice against Caleb Faceoff. That was a smart shooting decision by Reinhardt.
Once again, Lynch wins it cleanly. Irish on an 11-2 run.
And there, you know, this story behind Marinier too. So he's a Pole his first 2 years playing defense at Ohio State. Nick Meyer spends a lot of time north of the border scouting Canadian box players. So he's watching Marinier play as a box lacrosse short stick, as he's a member of his team as a defender. And he's like, I got to mention Princeton punching the ticket in their storied history with the 6 national titles and the alum base in the New York area. And they'll either play Harvard, who they've played twice already and beaten them, get a third shot at the Tigers if you're Jerry Byrne and the Crimson, or you got to deal with Syracuse. And Syracuse.
That fateful day on February 1st for the Buckeyes when they opened this season, giving up 19 to Utah, and we've chronicled everything that has happened since in this magical season for Coach Myers and the Buckeyes, winning the Big Ten regular season title, winning the Big Ten tournament, getting to host the first ever postseason game here at this stadium, the first ever NCAA tournament game, as you had Light try to get that full feet.
One matchup that I'm thrilled to see will be Sean Light, the defender from Notre Dame, against Matt Traynor, who's the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, the senior from Penn State, who was the 6th overall pick in the PLL draft by Mike Pressler in the New York Atlas. I think that's going to be a big-time matchup to look at.